So good morning. My name is Alok, and we're back to Waking Wise. And today we will uh, talk about Pap and Punya, virtues and sins. And we will not talk about it. We will meditate on that particular agenda, and we will go much beyond that. In fact, that's what we normally do. We take one thread and then we go back inside and then check what have we done. Okay, so I request all the participants to mute the microphones and so that we are able to go ahead with the session. So sit back straight. Your L5S1 here should not be bent, it should be straight. So sit back straight, as straight as possible. You can always take some cushion, some pillow, or whatever you feel like to put that support back to your lower body parts. And keep your chest up, keep your shoulders up, neck straight, and take a deep, long breath. पूरकः रेचकः पूरकः रेचकः. Keep breathing as long as you think you can. Keep breathing. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, perfectly fine. पूरकः. In yoga, it's known as Abhyandar Pranayam. Those who are regular participants, they already know that. रेचकः पूरकः रेचकः. 5 seconds, 7 seconds, 10 seconds. As long as you think you can inhale and as long as you think you can exhale. Ratio should generally be 1 is to 1. 10 seconds inhalation, 10 seconds exhalation. Purak is inhalation, Rechak is exhalation. Purakah. Now I will not pronounce Purak and Rechak. You keep doing it throughout the session. आप इस सेशन में पूरे सेशन तक के लंबी गहरी सांस दीर्घ श्वसन अपने हिसाब से लेते रहें. रेचकः. You will realize that very soon you can come back to your mind and you can observe that the mind is wavering and it is not in the action. A regular process. This is a very simple process which we normally do. This is a very simple process which we normally do by utilizing the breath, because there are other methods of going back inside which we will cover in the next series in other set of series. But look at where the mind is, bring it back to the action. The action which is happening in the body is breathing. मन को देखें, मन कहाँ है, मन की चंचलता को देखें, मन भूत में चले गया या भविष्य में चले गया. ब्रिंग द माइंड टू द प्रेजेंट. मन को अभी में लेकर आइए, अभी के अस्तित्व में लेकर आइए. अस्तित्व की क्रिया क्या है? एग्जिस्टेंस. व्हाट इज द एग्जिस्टेंस एक्शन ऑफ एग्जिस्टेंस? ब्रीदिंग. पूरकः रेचकः. पूरकः रेचकः. As long as deep as possible. Bring your mind to this activity. Bring your mind to this activity. Observe the breath, observe the mind. you'll find that the mind is continuously wavering. Let it come back to the breath. It's perfectly fine. That is what the nature of the mind is. Right? I purposefully had given you 30 seconds, 40 seconds for you to figure it out whether you can actually control the mind, bring it to the present. And a 1% success is enough success. So in 100 instances, if the mind is wavering and you are able to bring it back in the action of the now, 1%, which is 1%, you're successful. मन को मन को अपनी ही गति में रखना, अपने ही कार्य में रखना, स्वतः में रखना, क्रिया में रखना, ये परम तप है। बुद्धि का सबसे बड़ा काम क्या है? मन को क्रिया में क्रियान्वित रखना. What is the biggest work of the intellect? To keep the mind busy in the now. This is the token word. This is the statement. Look at what the intellect is doing. Is it doing its job? Yes. What is the intellect is doing the job? It's bringing the mind back from the past. It's bringing the mind back from the future. Where exactly? The breath. The breath. Deep, long breaths. The moment you are able to do it successfully, 5 in 100, 10 in 100, you know that there is silence. There is no point wavering. The mind will automatically get trained. The mind will automatically get to know that yes, there is no point wavering. This is what the truth is. The moment the mind is into the action, there is no work left for intellect. Then who are you? Who's observing? You are the consciousness. We're following the same process again and again and again. From the breath to the senses, from the senses to the mind, from the mind to the intellect, from the intellect to the consciousness. This is a trajectory which we have been doing it across over 20 episodes of this particular series. The series is called Bahavo Gyan Tapsa. The greatest penance is knowledge. And the intellect will control the mind and the senses. There have been instances in the past where the intellect could have controlled the senses doing wrong. A wrong is unlawful in the law, unethical in the religion. A wrong is unlawful in the law and unethical in the religion. And there are hundreds of instances where you may have erred. What it means is not that you are a wrong person. Look, you are pure consciousness. You are conscious, you are observing. This is what your true nature is. Right? आप चेतन हैं, साक्षी हैं, दृष्टा हैं. Mark this statement for those who understand Hindi very clearly, or their first language or the mother tongue has been Hindi. आप साक्षी हैं, चेतन हैं, दृष्टा हैं. आप पहले चेतन हैं, चेतन होने के बाद आप दृष्टा हैं, और दृष्टा होने के कारण आप साक्षी हैं. And that is what Satchidanand means. You are Chit, right? You are the truth, and you are observing this entire process. That process of observation itself is bliss. That's Anand. But look at the behavior of the senses. Look at the behavior of the mind. Look at the behavior of the intellect. The objects and subjects of the material world, the objects and subjects of the material world are continuously pulling the senses towards them because they have their agenda. They want to consume you. They want to give you something so that the senses can consume. They want to give something to the mind so that the mind can consume. Yes, it can be good and bad. Who will decide? The intellect. Is your intellect grounded? I will use a word. Is the intellect grouted? The difference between grounding and grouting is very different. ग्राउंडिंग इज जमीन में गाड़ देना, ग्राउटिंग इज जमीन में गड्ढा खोद के फाउंडेशन के साथ इरेक्ट करके इंस्टॉल करना. इज द इंटेलेक्ट ग्राउटेड? Grouting is required. Grounding is okay because if grounding is there, right? Grounding is जमीन में गड्ढा खोद के गाड़ दिया intellect. So if you're able to station your intellect, if you're able to control your intellect, that's grounding. Okay, but if you're gonna grout the intellect on the fundamental premise of understanding what is right and what is wrong, the senses and the mind will never waver, like how it must have wavered in the past. You may have some issue in the body. Example, you may have diabetes. The doctor has advised you not to eat sweets. Okay, but the moment you have a sweet in front of you, the senses will quickly bypass the rule engine of the intellect. The senses will quickly bypass the rule of the rule engine of the intellect and saying एक बार खाने से थोड़ी कुछ होता है. This is where the mind will come into action. The mind will try and cheat the intellect. The mind will try and bypass the intellect. Right? And actions of virtues and sins, पाप and पुण्य इंद्रियों और मन के स्तर पे होते रहेंगे. इंद्रियों और मन के स्तर पे होते रहेंगे. आप बुद्धि से इन सबको नियंत्रित कर सकते हैं. आप नियंत्रित कर सकते हैं बुद्धि से. जो हो गया सो हो गया. What has happened in the past? It is because of ignorance. You never knew that you can ground your intellect because you are the consciousness. You are the king of all of these animals. Indriyani, Hayanya. You know, these five horses and the cords of the horses, they have been controlled by you, the driver. You are the driver of this horse, the intellect. And when you are the consciousness, then you are the driven, right? The seat where you are sitting and being carried in this vehicle by the intellect, by the mind, by the senses. You have to control. Otherwise, they will go in their directions. All animals, all senses are like animals. If they are not trained well, they will automatically get attracted by the objects. Stay in the process of observation and command your intellect that for every wrong input which you will receive from the senses and from the mind, you will rationally understand that and give a command, go or no go. This is how you control wrongdoings in life. This is how a conscious individual will never do wrong to anyone. He or she will only do right virtues. जो केवल पुण्य कर्म करते हैं, अपनी इंद्रियों को पुण्य में लगाते हैं, अपने मन को पुण्य में लगाते हैं, अपनी बुद्धि को पुण्य में लगाते हैं. वो अपनी इंद्रियों को पाप कर्म से भटका के दूसरी जगह ले आते हैं. वो अपने मन को पाप कर्म सोचने नहीं देते. वो अपने मन को पाप कर्म करने नहीं देते. क्यों? क्योंकि उनको खुद को पाप और पुण्य की समझ है. The virtues and the sins in life, this is how they're being controlled. And this is where the foundations of value systems are being set. Keep observing, keep commanding, keep the strings in your hand. Yes, keep them in your hand. And whenever there is a storm or a tsunami of objects and subjects coming into the material world, driving your senses, driving your mind crazy, use your intellect. Use the intellect and make a command. No, the mind cannot think or do something like this. The senses cannot act according to their will. I am the controller. I am the decider. And stay in this position for some time. And it's an extremely empowering and an enlightening position because you have been given the power to control your entire body mind complex. Stay here. Stay here. Yes, the mind will again go back to past and present. Now you know how you can control the mind. Bring it back to its breath, bring it back to you. Change the focus of the senses inwards towards the intellect. Change the focus of the mind from outside to inside. And you being the consciousness, come, convey to the intellect that you have the authority and the right and the power to command the five senses and the mind. And immediately they will fall in line. There's a huge degree of empowerment which comes with this meditation because suddenly you are in control, and a life which is in control can bring other lives in control as well. In fact, lives which are in control can bring the entire universe in sync, in control, in synchronicity, and create bliss in the world, bliss in yourself. Observe how the breath has become too mellow, too short, very fine. How the mind has become so nimble, so obeying all of a sudden. How the intellect has become very aware, very calculative, ready to give the command. And you're just observing this entire picture. Keep observing. Keep observing as long as you can, as long as time permits, as long as you think. All this is where the outcomes of पाप कर्म and पुण्य कर्म subside. जो करता है वही भोगता है. अगर इंद्रियों ने किया तो इंद्रियां भोगेंगी, मन ने किया तो मन भोगेगा, बुद्धि ने की तो बुद्धि भोगेगी. If the doer is the senses, they will pay the price. The doer is the mind, they will pay the price. The doer is the intellect, they will pay the price. They are part of the body mind intellect mechanism, which is the construct of this body. You are the consciousness. All of this plus minus calculations never affect you because you are omnipotent, you are omniscient. You are beyond this body, you are beyond all the bodies. You are in all the bodies, in fact, and you are also in this body. Why? Because consciousness is always omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. आप चेतन हैं, आप व्यापक हैं, आप व्यापक हैं, व्याप्त हैं, आप सदा हैं, सर्वदा हैं, सदा है. Sada means from the past to the future, time immemorial. Sarvada, sada hai or sarvada hai. Sarvada is not in one place, you are in the entire space of cosmos, beyond the cosmos. And sarvatra is everywhere, dense enough to cover anything and everything. You are the consciousness. You are not the body, mind, intellect framework. Give the command to intellect, come back to yourself, which is the state of consciousness. Stay in the state of consciousness for as long as you think you can. Slowly and steadily, come back to the body, come back to the mind. Give it the freedom which it wants, which it desires. Yes, the senses also require freedom. The mind also requires freedom. Give them the freedom right now. Relax. Right. Loosen the grip of the intellect. Loosen yourself. Loosen the body. Droop down your shoulders, droop down your chest, droop down your spine. Take a deep, long breath. Urakaha, Rechakaha. Relax, completely relax. You've traveled far and wide. Relax. Keep breathing normally. Open your hands, rub them together. अपने चेहरे पे, अपने आंखों पे, अपने शरीर में दोनों हाथों को मल लें. ये जो दिव्य ऊर्जा हुई है, दिव्य चेतन की, ये आपके शरीर में विस्तृत हो जाए. धीरे से अपने आंख खोल लीजिए. Fold your hands and pay divine gratitude to the divine consciousness which enabled you to do a meditation like this. We're done with today's session. Any questions which we can answer?
Morning, Mr. Alok. Thank you for the session. It's really nice. One small doubt.
Yes.
If intellect is omnipotent,
Intellect
why
is not
is that?
omnipotent.
Sorry?
Intellect is not omnipotent. It is centered to the body.
Okay. No, this thing is, why is that we go through the process of growing the mind when intellect controls everything?
The
As a
intellect.
child, you're born. When
What
you're
is
born,
what is the
child,
question? What is the question?
no, when intellect knows everything, why is that we are going through the process of growing again and again? I mean, when the intellect enters to a new body.
Oh, there is a confusion here. The intellect, the mind, the senses, mind, and intellect are a construct of this body, and they dissolve with the body. But the
Hmm.
consciousness is a separate entity which comes
Hmm.
inside the body externally.
Okay.
And
So I think I got confused with the consciousness.
yes.
So when the consciousness is the knowledge or the power, when it enters the body, probably it knows what is right and what is wrong, and why is that we go through the childhood and everything to learn again and to come back to the to this level and things like that. Why can't it give to the body
Okay. Okay.
when you're a child itself?
Okay. Okay. So if I'm reading your question, if the consciousness is all pervading, all knowledgeable, right? Why does it
Yeah.
why does it force the senses, mind, and intellect to go through the birth and death cycle? Is that what your question is?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you. The answer to this is already being answered in Gita by Lord Krishna when he says, इस जन्म में इंद्रियों से उत्पन्न हुए संस्कार और मन से उत्पन्न हुए संस्कार लेकर एक बीज में मैं चेतन रूप में आ जाता हूँ और वो बीज में कहीं ना कहीं फलीभूत होता हूँ और वो बीज में कामनाएं और आकांक्षाएं होती हैं. So the question is about desires. So what it means is, and it modern science it also says the same, that you have to be satisfied before you leave the body. Because if you do not have, if you're not satisfied, you will take the sanskars, the value systems, and the engagement protocols of the senses and the mind from this body in the form of a small seed and put it in the consciousness. Okay, and next time when you take a birth, you that plant from the seed will grow again, and then it will reproduce the same sanskaras. Hence, so there are two parts to this answer of the question. One is, if the desires are not fulfilled, the body reincarnates every time, and the sanskars are stored in the consciousness. That's one. Second is, obviously, mukti, that's called mukti, freedom. Freedom is all about this, right? Now, when we share it in the group as well, we say that click and join your real freedom. What is freedom? Freedom is from all the sanskaras, so that you can purify your consciousness, which is already pure. But because we are not meditating, right? And because we are so attached in the material world, we are, the senses, mind, and intellect, all are focused here towards external world. The moment they are centered and focused internal world, then we find true liberation. In that case, the impressions of sanskaras, right, the value system protocols, okay, they do not affect the consciousness, and then the consciousness is pure. And when the consciousness is pure, then it merges with the divine consciousness. Actually, there's no merging, but then that's how it is. So there it is a little bit deeper to understand. But in this session, what you need to understand is three parts: the senses, mind, and intellect, and fourth is the consciousness. Right? This side is the body, this side is the consciousness. Right?
Okay.
This is what originates with the body, dissolves. This is bodiless. It comes inside the body, right, as part of divine incarnation, and then it leaves and it travels across bodies. This is omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient.
Okay. Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Sorry. Yeah, but still, when the consciousness enters the body, probably it can instruct the mind, or it can take control of this mind and the senses, and
It doesn't do that because that's not its dharma. Somewhere in the session, I think in episode 17, we discussed what the dharma is. The dharma of the senses is limited. The dharma of the mind is limited. The nature and the authority, so to say, to do, right? And same is the case with the intellect. Since anything which does not have an authority with the body, right, it cannot directly have the attributes of the body, right? Anyways,
okay.
from a meditation perspective, there are a lot of belief systems which one needs to incorporate as new belief systems, and at the same time, there are a lot of belief systems which one needs to forego and suspend temporarily. Because if the mind is and the intellect is continuously processing with the past belief as a baggage, one finds very difficult to understand a new belief system unless and until one experiences it by its own self. So that is a
Okay.
little bit of challenge which comes. Retreat में वो solve हो जाता है because retreat में the meditation sessions are very long.
Okay. Okay.
If you say so, if
Thank you. Thank
yeah, so if in this session we would have been sitting, just Chetan and observation would have gone at least for 45 minutes, right?
you. Yeah.
And then in that 45 minutes we so we are the idea is not to be aware 45 minutes. Even if you're being able to aware 15 minutes, you'll go very very deep there, and that 15 minutes is invaluable.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Thank
Right.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Any questions, Mala?
Amala has just gone out. It's okay.
Okay. No worries. Kunal, Anurag, other participants, none.
No questions. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So we end this today's session. See you soon tomorrow. Bye bye.